Yo, it's
Yeah.
TNT Podcast coming back at you. I'm Telly.
I'm TJ.
And we got two special guests. You know, one guest came here before this. Adrian, you introduce
Yes,
yourself.
sir. My name is Adrian. I was on the last podcast. Glad to be back. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about some real things, get down and dirty, and just get into it. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Who are you, my young gentleman?
My name is Austin. First time for the podcast.
Yes, sir. Let me get a little bit more about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hope I go to Niagara Community College. I play basketball. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's about it. I just hope do schoolwork.
Nice with it.
Okay.
I'm decent.
Got the hooper in the building. You know what I'm saying? But now today we're gonna start out with some icebreaker questions. You know, let me give you the whole rundown. You know, today we don't have a specific topic. We're gonna do some new, this jar thing right here, you know. We're gonna pick out the jar, after do the icebreaker questions and, you know, talk about whatever in it, you know. So it's a mystery. We don't even really know what's going on yet. But the icebreaker question is, first things first, what is your dream job? We're gonna go this way. Yeah,
All
go ahead and
right,
start. Yeah.
My dream job, probably, right now I study human resource management, so I guess it'll be like helping people like in their job with like benefits and stuff like that, and just be like a human resource manager in like a business, or maybe help run my own business. So that would be like for me, you know.
Okay. Sure.
My dream job, it really consists of one major one, but definitely music career. Definitely trying to be the best Christian rapper out there. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of R&B as well. As a side job, it's like a side career. Definitely something in the graphic design, art type of field. You know, I'm nice with the hand, with the pencil and stuff like that. I'm real creative and stuff like that. So those two fields definitely be my major career for sure.
Okay. For me, I think it would just be, like, I don't know exactly what it would be doing, you know, but anything that involves traveling, you know, and doing God's work in some type, shape, way, or form, you know. So traveling and just, you know, just traveling, you know, something involved in that.
My dream job definitely is playing in the NBA. Cause I always wanted to play in the NBA, so now I'm just like every day working towards that, trying to get better, make my dream come true.
Okay. If you was to go hop in the league, what team would you? Right. What team would you want to be?
I want to play for the Knicks. The Knicks.
The Knicks.
Yeah, I'm trying to play Madison Square Garden.
With D Rose.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just a different vibe.
Okay.
Playing there.
With D Rose.
Yeah, Spike Lee in the crowd.
Understand?
That's crazy.
Garden.
Okay, I hear you. I like that. Good answer. Second one is, what do you like more, coffee or tea?
Okay.
You know this one.
We go this way.
Go ahead.
Definitely tea.
Tea?
Yeah, definitely tea, hot tea. Cause like, yeah, my mom, she always making this crazy tea. It's just like peach tea. That's not crazy. Coffee, I mean, I like iced coffee, but like, I don't really like coffee for real.
Yeah. I used to drink coffee a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But like before, I would have said coffee, but today I say tea now, just cause I don't drink coffee too much. And if I do, it's iced coffee. I don't really drink that regular coffee no more.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the tea. Coffee is just not my thing. That's what I got right here, some tea.
You was ready for it.
Yeah.
For me, I guess I'm gonna be different this time. I actually like coffee. I just feel like coffee, like you got a whole soul. You know what I'm saying? A little mature with it. You know, a little coffee, a little cream. You know what I'm saying?
You're gonna get tired of it after a while.
I know,
bro.
bro.
Like I feel like with coffee, for me, bro, when I drink coffee too much, it just like when it wore down, I just be dumb tired.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Especially
But I was drinking it
like
every day though too.
Nah, don't get addicted now. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I was drinking coffee
That's
every
caffeine.
day. That's why I don't really drink it no more. I was drinking it every day.
Bro.
Yeah, though. Third and last icebreaker. If you could live in any country, where would you live?
Oh, shoot.
Start
All
with
right,
me.
so if I could live in any country, I would say the United States. 'Cause, you know, that's home for me. But if I had to pick somewhere not the United States, I'm gonna have to say London. Cause you know, I like, you know, England and all that. Like that'd be kind of cool. Like just a different vibe. They all distinguished up there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say.
Okay. For me, I'm gonna say anywhere foreign. You know what I'm saying? Mainly the islands. You know what I'm saying? Where it's nice and quiet and peaceful. You know what I'm saying? It's a straight vibe. But yeah, London is nice though. London, I ain't gonna lie, London would be a vibe too. No kizzy, but definitely my top pick would definitely be the islands. Caribbean islands. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. For me, if I would be anywhere, it'd probably be Paris. You know, I'd be in France.
I'll definitely choose like the islands too, cause I like I just like the water, like it's like the trees, tropical trees. Like I just like that tropical environment.
Nah, that's a real
It's
tropical.
real vibes.
It is a
But
vibe.
definitely the water though. Like I like when the water like
Yeah.
blue. Like,
Clear too.
yeah, like
Clear
you can
water.
see like that's not crazy.
See
And I never been out there either too, so
See,
definitely that definitely be a vibe for me.
be able to see your feet at the bottom of the sand.
Yeah.
Swimming down the
They
rocks.
have like black sand too.
Yeah, nah, I see some crazy stuff like
I
that.
definitely want to go somewhere that have black sand.
Black
That's
sand.
I
different.
feel like if I lived there, like I would get tired of it after a while.
Yeah,
Like,
that'd
it would be nice, like going there all the time.
Yeah,
and you work
for
it.
vacation is
But like
nice.
just living there, you probably would get, it wouldn't be surprising to you no more.
Yeah.
But I mess with it. I would later though. I would later for sure. But shoot, how we gonna do this? Who birthday was most recent? Mine was in July.
Mine's coming in December.
You said August.
August.
August, April.
Let's see what we're going to do today, man.
Show the crowd too. You gotta show the camera.
You can see this? I can see this? They
I don't think they can
this.
see
We're gonna just read it for
We
us.
just it's gonna pop up on the screen.
Alright, so my question is, can you say that you've grown spiritually from last year to this very day? Most definitely. Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely, because I don't know, I feel like, from last year, like I was, cause like I've always been like, since I got out of high school, I've been trying to like get, like, become more spiritually, like, in depth with church and stuff. But like now, I'm definitely like way more into it than I was before. I'm trying to like figure out like, cause like all the stuff that I learned as a kid, I just want to like learn that like for myself versus like just hearing it and just like believing it. So like I'll be trying to like read the Bible and like different like my grandmother, my mom, like they daily send me like different passages and like different scriptures and stuff, and I just be like reading it and try to like impact that on my daily life, pretty much. So yeah, definitely grown since last year.
I hear that. Anybody else feel like they, got a little special?
I thought we were going over it. I could go.
Yeah, we going. That's a good question. I don't know who came up with that one, but
I can see that.
I like that
That
one.
was a good question.
Cause like just recently, bro, I feel like I could relate to it a lot. Like if I would have seen that question probably like a month ago, like a few weeks ago, I would have said yeah, but like the way that it has been in like most recently, I would say like a lot. Just based off of like cutting certain habits out. Cause I was watching this Tony Evans podcast earlier. He was talking about like even when you do get converted, and you get baptized and all of that, you still gonna bring in some of the same habits. You still bringing you a new spirit, so God gonna be in control, but there's certain things that that you still gonna have to get rid of, shake off, and I'm starting to shake some of that off, and it's feel good, it's different, it's always new work to do, but definitely growing for sure.
Yeah, I would say, from last year to this day, I've definitely grown a lot spiritually. I've had a lot more challenges. I've been tested a lot more. I've gone through a lot more things than since last year. And I also feel like every Sunday you hear a sermon, you should learn something out of it. To take back with you into your life. So each Sunday that goes by, each week that goes by, you should be learning more and more. So there should be something that you're adding to your spiritual warfare, and every battle that you take spiritually from every sermon. So I feel like, within the whole year, all them Sundays, you should have a lot of stuff you learn that you should be applying. And yeah, it's hard, things don't happen overnight, but, within the year, you should, definitely grow even a little bit, spiritually.
I'm gonna say for me, bro, I feel like I've been a lot in years spiritually because, like, this is the first time, like, when I start going to church on my own. Because usually growing up, it's like, all right, mom's gonna take you to church.
Yeah.
Like, now it's like, I kind of have a choice. Like, do I want to go this Sunday or am I gonna just stay home? So I'm like, since it's on my own now, like, I gotta make the choice. And especially, like, Brother Lawrence, he be asking questions, like, I never really had like someone asking me like spiritual questions that I have to think about. Like I'm used to just like not like just going through it, but like going through the motions, going to church, going to Bible class, but never like trying to think on a different level. Cause now I'm trying to like apply it in real life. Cause there's a lot in real life now that I have to deal with like responsibility. So it's like now it's like my own journey kind of like, you feel me? So I feel like definitely
Yeah, I agree with them though. There's a difference between going to church on your own than being like going with your family. Because like when you go with your family, you kind of feel like you just have to be there, like you're forced to be there. But when you go on your own will, that's a whole different ball game. It's like, okay, like what am I gonna get out of this? Like, you know, I'm here on my own will. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's get something out of this. So when I leave, I got something. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's
Type
a fact.
stuff.
That's a fact. I definitely agree to that one.
That's for sure.
all right, next
Hey,
one.
your turn, bro.
So,
Pick out your time.
Let's go in there.
Have you suffered yet for Christ's name's sake? That's a good question too.
You know what I say? I say yeah. You know, I say yeah. Because you could look at this in a broad way, but if it's something like specifically that you know that touch your soul differently, then you could definitely answer this question on a whole different level. But like for me personally, on a more broad status, like everything, any challenge that I have that comes up in my life, you know, I always just try to, you know, like look at it the way God would want me to look at it. You know, like, you know, Brother Walker and Brother Lawrence say that all the time, you know, how does God see it? You know, and if you look at every situation that you might go through as in like you know, just take all the negative out of everything, you know, and really find out like, why am I going through this? What's God trying to show me right now?
Right.
You know, and sometimes it's really hard to look at it that way when it's like something crazy going on, but it's always a positive to a negative, you know. So it's just really how you look at it. So I say with certain areas, you know, of my life, yeah, I definitely suffered for Christ.
Yeah, I definitely face some trials and tribulations. I feel like that whenever that is a time when I decide to do the right thing instead of the wrong thing, because I know that's what God would want me to do. I feel like for me that's spiritually suffering for Christ's namesake, because you're choosing to go Christ's path, the righteous path, instead of going down the path that you want to go or that you physically, carnally want to go through. So it's like, any time that occurs, you choosing to go Christ's way instead of your own way. You know what I'm saying? But I've definitely had some times where I've had to really, you know what I'm saying, get out of myself and just do the right thing. You know, even though I wanted to just lash out, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to handle it my way, you know. But
For me, bruh, I feel like I suffer for Christ because it kind of like, especially like nowadays, especially like going through school or like just meeting people my age, you tell them like, oh, I'm a Christian, and they might look at you sideways, like, and they might, your reputation might change, like, even though it's not a bad thing, people are like, oh, you Christian, like, they might start trying to act different around you.
Yeah.
So I feel like, but if I like, let's say I deny Christ, that would be like, kind of like how in the Bible, Peter denied Jesus 3 times. And it's kind of like, if I do that, that would be wrong. So I feel like since I don't do that, I've been suffering for Christianity because I've been putting myself out there as a Christian, and it don't matter if people look at me any type of way, I'm still like, it don't matter my reputation, like, I'm doing this for God, like, I don't care what anyone think, like, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I definitely like. I agree with like what Adrian said. Like, I feel like sometimes when you tell people you're a Christian, like sometimes people might like look at you weird or like saying like why did you do that stuff? Like, cause I remember one time I had told my some of my people I go to school with I was going to church and stuff. They was like, "Oh, you go to church? Like, why?"
Yeah, people always
love
say
saying
that.
that.
That's a fact.
So yeah, I definitely feel the same way as Adrian. And like also, like when I feel like when I get into like a bad situation or like something that came up that I didn't expect, like I never really try to think negative. But like, I always try to think of the positive, like in everything, no matter like how bad it is, because like, I always know like everything happened for a reason. So like this is God's plan, so I just gotta be able to just go through it and deal with it.
That's a fact.
You know what, bro? No cap, before you even pick the last drink, bro, I got another question I'll talk about, bro.
Okay, say that.
Bro, because it's like, okay, so how, what's some ways that we could go, like we can give somebody some type of advice how to go about going through the suffering? Like, what should we do in the midst of it? You know, like, we hear pray a lot, you know, people say pray, you know, but like what type of real work do you gotta put in? You know what I'm saying?
I would say like whatever you're going through that's bad, it's like try to like build on it. So like say you have like something bad going through your day or something like that. Think of how like you can make the day better by like doing something else. Or like if you have like a tired bad day, the next day just try to do better than the day you did before. So like always just try to improve versus like dwelling on what happened or like dwelling on the bad thing that's going on. So always think about like a good outcome that can happen.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm gonna just say, just have faith. Cause even if you don't know like how you gonna get through it, if you just have faith, like you gonna make a will out of the way, bro. You gonna do it. Even if you don't know how it's gonna be done, like it's not even. Don't even try to worry about it. He gonna do it for you. So just like, as long as you just keep up doing what you're supposed to do, and just have faith, everything's gonna work out, man.
Yeah, I agree with that too. Definitely agree with what Austin said about the positive, trying to find something positive come out of it, because you gotta look at it as these problems and these situations gonna keep happening. You know, it's not gonna be just a one-time thing. So it's like you either learn how to conquer that battle, how to conquer that the suffering that you're going through, so that when the next time comes, you know how to go through it. Because if you conquer the first time, all the rest of the times are going to be easier because you've done it the first time and you've attacked the giant. You know what I'm saying, so to speak. So it's like if you just look at it as how can I get through this, and how can I remember how I got through it, so when the next time comes, it won't be such a surprise. Be like, okay, I got this, you know, God got my back, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna get me through this because I've been through this before. You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
You know?
I like that.
Yeah.
Y'all boys, you know what I'm saying? Y'all sharpen it. Hey, listen. Sharpen it, man. Iron sharpen iron, you heard? You heard more, man. Get that gyrate quick.
I ain't gonna put the top on me. Let me get in here. Give me the secret.
You understand?
You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got. Ooh.
Oh, hold on.
So we got a big one. Okay. Question is, what is the difference between being cocky versus confident?
Oh.
I can start with this one.
Go ahead.
You ready? Go ahead. If you ready, you can go ahead.
Nah, cause to be honest, I used to definitely be like cocky, like very cocky. I feel like cocky is like, so like if you're good at something, but like you was like talking about it too much, like trying to just tell everybody like how good you was at it, versus like confidence is like you're good at something, but like you just know you're good at it, and like you don't gotta talk about it, like you just gonna do it, like versus like always like, cause I feel like cocky people, like I don't know if they do it on purpose, but like they like try to brag about themselves to like try to show other people like they're like the big dog. But like when you're confident, like you just keep it on the side and like you just let your actions show for your words.
Yo, bro, you took the words right out of my mouth, bro. So when I read that question, I literally was thinking that same answer, bro. Like,
so I used to be just way too cocky. I feel like with basketball, I feel like that was my main problem before. Like I used to always just like talk about how good I was and stuff like that, versus like not talking about it. Like, I would just talk too much about it. But now that like I don't be talking about it, I just like keep it all to myself and stuff. It's like when I'm on the court, it's just like it just comes natural, and it's like I don't know, it's just like different versus like always bragging. Like it's just not getting bragged.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like the difference is if you're confident, you just serve yourself. Like you know, like you serve yourself. If you cocky, like people cocky. If you're confident, you don't have to say anything. You could walk into a room, bro, and people gonna notice you. You don't have to even say nothing. If someone who's cocky, they gonna walk in and be like, "Hey, like look at me, look at me." But if you're confident, you could just sit in silence, bro, and people gonna still notice you because you just like that.
That's
like,
true.
if you're confident, that means you're sure of something, and you just know that you got it. Like you know that you got it like that. Like let's say someone's confident in God, then they don't have to say like, oh, this and that. Like they could just be going about their day naturally. Like you don't gotta say nothing. It's just gonna be known without you having to even say anything.
No, that's a
I
fact.
feel like another word with like confidence would be like being like humble.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
being
Come
humble.
on.
Nah,
Come on.
Adrian definitely took the words right out of my mouth for sure. Like, man, let your words show. Let your words speak for itself. I feel like, but for example, if I feel like I'm a good athlete, right? I'm gonna say I am a good athlete. That's confidence. Difference is if I say I'm the best athlete and there's no one out here better than me, that's cockiness. You know what I'm saying? You see the difference between like confidence is usually has to do with yourself, and cockiness has to do with everybody else around you.
Ooh.
So it's like
Fact.
it's all about how you view the world versus yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you know you got it, if you got the skills and all the assets, they gonna speak for themselves. You shouldn't have to move your mouth. People like to talk and don't got the funds to back it up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just let your skills, let your words speak for itself, not your mouth, because your mouth is what gets into the cockiness. You know what I'm saying? That's how I view it.
I would say though, like piggyback off that, like I feel like sometimes like if you actually prove that you is the best, like it might be okay to say it, but like not until you prove it. Like you gotta prove it first.
Yeah. And I feel like it's a level at it too. You know, cause I was reading a book about that. I still ain't finished that. I'm reading that book for a minute. But like
Confidence, the book on confidence.
No, book it's called Ego is the Enemy. You know, and
I
like,
might need that.
bro, it's crazy. Like ego going out every single day lies, and it all come down to pride at the end of the day, bro. You know, God talk about pride a lot. How many prideful prophets and all, you know, many men that was in the Old Testament that was mad prideful, you know, and got certain things taken away from them for them to get humble, you know. And sometimes that gotta happen to us. You know, we gotta get humbled in certain ways. Sometimes we gotta lose stuff, you know, in order to gain it back, to really know what you got, you know. And it don't have to happen like that all the time, you know. And that's where gratitude comes in. But you know, that's the devil love that pride, man.
You know,
trying to get you.
I definitely lost stuff. I lost a lot of things too. Like things like, cause like I feel like when I used to like right now I'm 19, so I say like through like all my like teenage years, like before 19, like I just like I don't know, like I was just too cocky. Cause I was always losing stuff, and like I wasn't like understanding like why I was losing stuff. I thought I was just losing stuff just to lose it, but like everything like, has a meaning to it too. So like you really gotta like understand like what's going on around you.
Nah, that's deep.
I think
That's deep.
to add on, bro, I feel like if you're cocky, then that's like, if you're cocky, then that's what's the word? If you're cocky, then you're showing self-doubt. Because if you was confident in yourself, you wouldn't have to say it to everyone else. You would just know like that you got it like that. But if you're cocky, you're trying to prove it to others before you prove it to yourself that you're actually worth something. So you're trying to, your self-security is not in check, bro. Because if you gotta prove it to other people, then you probably have some problem inside that you gotta just show out. Like if you're confident, you just sure of yourself, and you don't gotta do too much. You just gotta move in silence. What's the quote? Real G's move in silence. You don't gotta say nothing.
That's a
If
fact.
you walk into a room, they're gonna just I feel you not say nothing.
And that was also one of my problems too. I used to always had trying to prove a point, but that kind of comes from like how I grew up though. Like I don't know, people always like where I'm from, like they always like down talking me and stuff like that. So like I always felt like I had to prove a point to like but like now like I should like you're only supposed to be proving a point to yourself, because like that's the only person you're really competing with. Like you're not really competing with other people. You only compete with yourself. Trying to be the best you can be.
But the way that you describing it though, I feel like that's not too bad to think that way to a degree. You know, like, cause I know exactly what you're saying. But like, when you used to people down talking you, it's like you're gonna feel like you gotta have something to prove, you know, for a reason, you know. But like, I feel like it's levels to that too, you know, cause I feel like it's not necessarily like bad in a way, depending on how you carry. You know, it's really not what you do, it's how you do it too at the end of the day, you know. But you can always tell the difference between confidence and cockiness, you know. Like you ain't never gotta show it. You just tell it so.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here.
We gotta do this more.
Nah, for real.
So,
That's what I got. Okay. Ooh, nah, this a good one. Hold on. This one say, do you think? Nah, this one we're gonna be on here for a minute. Do you think it's harder being a young Christian or an older Christian? Nah.
Y'all gonna
I'm
think
gonna
my
go
answer
first.
crazy.
I'm gonna go first because I
Crazy.
literally was thinking about this earlier.
I'm
So
gonna answer this.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first.
Old, you know.
All right. So I feel like right now, I feel like it's harder to be a younger Christian, only because we have so many distractions. Older Christians, they didn't grow up, they didn't have TikTok, they didn't have Instagram, they didn't have Snapchat, they didn't have like iMessage, they didn't have like, they just had each other, you know what I'm saying? We have a lot of distractions, and we have like, even like going to a classroom that has like, oh, all the different like your pronouns and like all this added stuff. Like you see commercials, like you see stuff that normally you wouldn't see back in the day. And like a lot of things, a lot of values people had like over time is kind of like gone now. So it's like just trying to maneuver and still like, you know, keep with the time. It's hard to keep with the times and still be Christian because the times is moving away from Christianity. So it's like, I definitely feel like it's harder being, because like, you know, a lot of times adults would be like, oh, you go on your phone too much, you do this too much, like why don't you go outside, you're on social media too much. But if they had the same devices and the same technology that we have today, I could assure you they would be doing the same thing that we do.
That's a fact.
It just came later for us. So I feel like definitely young Christian harder for now.
I would definitely agree with Adrian said, like pretty much everything he said, like the distraction and stuff. Like it's just so much. This is so much distraction in this world nowadays. Like it's crazy. It's too many. Like, it's like almost everything is a distraction, pretty much. But I just don't know. Like I just don't know how hard it would be being an older Christian because I'm not older, so like I really don't know. So I can't say.
And you know
So
what?
I don't know. Like how you not. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know.
When boys wrote that question down, bruh, I look at both sides of it, bruh, cause
That's what I'm saying.
we living in like the younger era, and we understand like what's really going on with our era, but like to think at the same time being older though, like you know you don't know what's going on in somebody's older head, like they probably think about death every day or think you gotta think about it, cause like in their minds at the end of the day we don't know in our day, you know, ain't nobody have it. It's already written. God knows, you know what I'm saying? But whether we younger or old, but like to be older, like to already just have in your mind, like, dang, I know I ain't got too much time left. Like trying your best to do what you can do, you know? So it's like, I don't know. Like I feel like I really don't know how to answer that question, bro. I really don't know how to answer
They
that
definitely
question.
have more experience, and they experience a lot more. So maybe there could be a lot more things they experience that want to take them away from Christianity in a way.
Yeah.
Because we've only been living, what, like 20 something years.
Yeah.
It's a lot. They've been living 60 years, or like they got a lot more that they've experienced that might want to take them away from Christianity.
Should we put all our years together? That's one person.
That's
life,
one
like,
person, literally,
like,
man.
for real. Like so, it's like, man, I don't know.
I definitely think that it does depend on the generation that you grew up in as well. Now the fact of being older or younger, you know what I'm saying, we definitely have more temptations at our disposal, for sure, than back in the day, back in 1980, 1990, stuff like that. But, you know, it's like, when you're older, it's like you have a whole life of, a whole time period of time that you just can get all that stuff out your system. All the fun and all the craziness and all the partying and all that stuff out your system. So the older you are, I kind of feel like sometimes it might be a little easier because the very fact that you had all the time to get all the stuff out your system than being younger. Because being a younger Christian, it's like, I gotta follow Jesus and, you know, be from all the distractions and all the, you know what I'm saying, my friends out there partying and smoking and drinking and doing all this crazy stuff, and I gotta sit in the house and read my Bible type stuff, you know what I'm saying? Whereas an older person who, you know, already has their family, that, you know, they own home, you know what I'm saying, is a different environment, you know what I'm saying, the older you are. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it could be easier the older that you are, but yet at the same time, generation, we still all have temptation. We still have,
Yeah.
stuff we got to deal with.
Cause it's like we wouldn't understand what an older temptation would be like. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
crack baby.
you really, you really wouldn't understand though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's not gonna be easy being a Christian regardless.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Old or young. So
I
it's
feel
like,
like that one thing, the hardest thing probably for like men, like looking at other women, like if they got a wife, cause like it's low key, like it's natural.
Yeah.
OD,
Yeah, I mean,
bro,
And
OD.
like you can't even do that though at all.
OD,
So like
OD.
that's hard.
Well, I'm
Gotta block it out.
I'm gonna piggyback what you were saying.
Yeah, what?
because
You gotta block it out.
I kind of agree with you were saying because like by the time like let's say you 60 years old, nobody gonna hit your phone like, hey, there's a party tomorrow, like come through. They gonna say like,
Right.
it's
True.
gonna be like
That's what I'm
a
saying.
barbecue or something. Like you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
temptations.
yeah.
Like they not like we have a lot more temptation because there's so much like at our disposal right now. Like there's so much like after like they already lived their young lives. They had all their fun back in the day. Like you hear like a lot of older Christians saying like back in the day, you know, I used to do this and that, but now I'm a changed man.
Yeah.
But we don't got no back in the day because it's right now. It's
Nah,
it's really right now.
that's what I'm
right
saying.
here.
That's what I'm like,
Right?
They always
They
be
like to
yo,
get,
bro,
they got to
man.
live their youth years partying probably. Then they converted when they was like later in life.
That's
They
what
always-
and you know what, bro? Dang, I should have wrote that down too, bro. Cause, bro, oh my goodness, I could have wrote down the question saying like, would it be harder being a Christian raised up your whole life as a Christian, or you know, converting and just learning about God?
Just let's talk about that then.
Nah, cause really think about that though, cause like you know, coming up from we blessed, bro. Each and every one of us, we done came up in the church. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Probably not together, but we came up in it.
Right.
So we knew the word ever since we was little. So it was in our hearts as young,
Right.
as opposed to somebody who 30 years old just getting introduced to God for real, the proper way of that.
I feel like it's better.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
I feel
That's a
like
fact.
logically it's better, you know, to be raised up. But like the thing is, and I know people, my friends who wasn't raised in the church, they never have a guilty conscience. You know what I'm saying? Like they could do everything. Like if I try to do the same thing, after I'm gonna feel guilty. Like I know I shouldn't do that. Like I'm a Christian. Like I can't be thinking like that. I can't be living the same way. They don't have a guilty conscience. They live freely. And then so I feel like it might be harder to start off like growing up in the church because it's like from an early age you can't say you didn't know.
Right.
They say ignorance is bliss.
Right.
So when if you're not ignorant, you can't like move that way because you already know like what you should have been doing. Later, maybe you get it out your system like we were saying earlier, and then you convert. Then it's like okay, I can turn away because I didn't know. Now I know. So it's like
Let me throw these two cents in real quick too.
Okay.
Like say for instance, like it's something that we felt like we really knew good at one point. Like we knew, like I noticed, like for example, like some like a certain scripture or like a certain law of God that we know in our hearts, like the meaning and everything behind it, or at least we thought we did. But like we get something broken down to us in a different way to look at it, completely different way. Like that's why it's like looking at it and be like, I don't know sometimes. Cause I'm learning stuff now that I did not know that I thought I knew before.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
so it's like, man, I couldn't imagine just like starting from the very beginning.
Because I think brother Walker said this. I don't know if it was Bible class. I think it probably was. He was like, it's easier to teach someone new about the Bible than someone who's already learned. 'Cause
Exactly.
they already set in their ways. They already have like an understanding, and they rigid. It's
Mhm.
easier to teach someone, bring someone new into the Bible because that's they're gonna just learn fresh. They don't have to. You don't have to unlearn certain
Right.
wrongs that you had before.
Right.
So yeah.
I also do feel like, you know what I'm saying, I agree with you too, you know, what you said. But at the same time, it's like when you're younger, like and you're a Christian, the stuff that you did learn, like whether it's Bible class, Sunday school, whatever, it's like later on in your 20s, you know what I'm saying, going up to an adult, it's like the stuff that you did, that you, like you said, the stuff that you thought you did know, you know what I'm saying, it's different now because you're more developed, you're more mature. And what, your brain doesn't even fully develop to you, what, like 20 something, 25, something like that?
Something like that.
So it's like you take a 14-year-old and someone who's mid-20s, right? they gonna think about things differently than a 16-year-old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's like when you talk about spiritual maturity, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the older person is gonna have a way stronger, spiritual matureness because of the way they think, the way the stuff they've gone through. It's like, okay, for example, like if you lived a life of partying and you stop because you realize you understand, okay, that's not really good for me. You know what I'm saying? I have my fun, I have my time to do the craziness. Now it's time to really, focus on being an adult, take care of my business, my responsibilities, and stuff like that. Someone who's a kid is a Christian is gonna keep doing that because they don't understand that yet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like that the older Christian is I want to say easier, or it's just a little more developed. You know what I'm saying? They understand a little bit more. They are a little bit more wiser. With age comes wisdom, but you know what I'm saying, it doesn't mean that a young Christian can't do it either or can't understand it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was baptized when I was like, what, 10? You was what?
Shoot, I was 10 too.
You was 10.
But the whole time I had got rebaptized
I
though.
was always in the church, but
Yeah,
I was
18.
My mom told me, like,
Still, like, them teenagers
you know,
are crazy.
you already baptized.
Like Dukes told me the same thing. Like I don't know if y'all heard me or not. We talking about getting rebaptized. Like I did that. And Dukes told me the same thing. She was like, you got baptized once. You never got to really get rebaptized again. Like if you choose to, like nobody could tell you not to get baptized. They can't deny you from doing that. But
Right.
I did it. But I felt kind of stupid because I was doing kind of like the same stuff really right after I got baptized the second time. But I was really still working though. I was really working. Like I'm saying, working like I said, like from between a year ago and now, like changes been made since I got baptized that second time. Because I was 10 years old. Like if I would have known everything that I was gonna go through, bro, between 10 years old and now, I probably would have not got baptized then. Like,
That's
I'm
what
be honest with
that's
you.
what I'm telling you. Like, there's the older folk.
I ain't gonna lie, the reason why I got baptized, I just wanted to do communion.
Yo, bro.
Like, I was taking communion, bro.
He said,
I was like, that's really the
Boys was
only reason
Yo, that's really how it used to be though. Boys used to be feeling it like, because it's like all the older heads want you to, start moving up and doing stuff. And I seen everybody else get like you, bro. I seen everybody else getting baptized at 10, so I'm like, I want to do it too.
Yeah.
But then stuff hit the fan. It's like, dang, like, I'm really in it. Like,
And the thing I really regret, because like before, I remember like my great grandfather, he was like asking me like, are you sure you're ready? Like,
yeah, that's how my brother was.
I
with
just
that.
kept saying yes, but I was not ready at all.
No,
Like,
not at all.
I'm telling you, I was just trying to drink the juice. Like, that's really the reason.
But you know what though? You know what?
When he said that,
You know what though? Bro, God working mysterious ways like that, bro. Like, bro, even bro, like Brother Walker say sometimes, like, bro, if you single or something, for instance, like if you bring like a shorty or something, or you bring a friend, like that person that you could bring might help your spirituality grow or something like that, or something like that, for instance. Like, you never, like, God works in some mysterious ways. Like, your intentions could be one way for some reason at first, but in the end it end up being a whole different reason why you're doing what you're doing, So that's how God works. I mean,
But I definitely was. We definitely gonna have that as a topic as well, like the older Christian versus young, because that's we
definitely gotta have some older Christians
really
on
get
here.
into depth into that in the discussion.
We gotta have some older heads on here,
Bro, for sure.
That'd
It's
be
like
perfect.
bro,
Oh my goodness.
It's just the very fact of like,
yeah, it really would.
you know what I'm saying, the very fact that like, you know what I'm saying, like, if you, it's a difference between living a life of going through a lot of things and then going through it while it's like extra baggage. You know what I'm saying? It's
Right.
It's like, being a Christian, sometimes it's like more you have to carry. Whereas if you just live in your life, just you and how you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? It's different. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I always hear from older heads all the time. They be like, I could imagine living in your area. All the stuff you got to go through. I can imagine all the temptations. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, because you got it all through your system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We going through it while following Jesus. You know what I'm saying? It's just a difference. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference, and you really got to understand it and realize that. You know what I'm saying? But discussion, you know what I'm saying?
What are some of the hardest? What are some of the hardest temptations in this day and age?
Ooh, kind of.
Number one is girls.
Yeah.
You know, cause they right there.
You know what though? I gotta. Go ahead, bro. I gotta disagree with that answer though, cause bro, this day and age, is no, bro. Oh man, Adam, bro, he was wilding, bro. You know what I'm saying? No social media, no nothing, but it was, bro. They was as pure as could be. The first people on earth, bro.
She also was
Nah,
the
I
only one.
ain't
and he still messed up.
She also was the only one.
Huh?
She also was the only one.
But look, think, no, but I'm still. I'm gonna agree.
That's
though.
a fact, though. She was the
I'ma
only
agree with
one,
him.
though.
I'm gonna agree with him only because there's so much more like demand. Like if you think about Instagram, bro. You go on Instagram. Like, let's say you go on Instagram, right? You go on Instagram, like, and then you could search up people. Like back in the day, you had to walk up to someone. You want to talk to a girl, you gotta walk up to them, knock on their door,
Now you can
or
just,
find them in class.
Now you
You
just
could-
nowadays
nowadays,
in the DM.
nowadays, you don't have to even meet the person in real life, bro. You don't have to even meet. You don't have to even.
That's true.
You never even like. You don't have to even meet them in real life.
You know what's
you behind the screen. Like,
You know it's so crazy, bro. It's so many like interactions that you put like nowadays, like, bro. I was saying, like in a little song we had made, bro. Like, bro, I real life met my wife off of Facebook, bro.
real life.
Real life, bro. I was going through my little situations, and like, you know how boys is, bro. I was just hitting shorties up on on Facebook,
Some
just
play stuff.
hitting shorties up on the message. I was bored. I had nothing else to do with my time.
You know.
You know, 2 years later we married. Like, I'm like, dang, you
That
would have never
shows
thought.
how God works.
You
like,
would have never thought, like, you know, like, cause in my mind I'm like, I ain't gonna take no shorty on social media seriously. That's how I used to real life think. But boys have really got locked in though, so it's like, bro, you be surprised. Like, it's pros and cons to it, but trigger wise though, man, that social media ain't no, man. Sometimes I just got deleted, bro.
Yeah.
As soon as I go on there, I'm seeing something that I know I shouldn't be looking at. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just be having to, like, you know, I'm on there for some reason. If I ain't on there for that, I'm good.
Yeah, I ain't lie. Only reason why I really use it, like I'm using it to communicate, cause like certain people don't got my number, cause I don't be like giving my number
Yeah,
out.
that too.
But like, I just be on the gram, just be looking at basketball. Cause it's all like, I just got all basketball on my feed, so I just be like, if you having like different like type of training and different like, I just like basketball. So
Yeah.
all basketball.
But in terms of the hardest though, that's the question.
I agree with
the
him.
hardest.
Definitely females, bro.
You be there.
Wait,
I mean,
what's the
I
exact
mean-
question again, though?
The hardest
Temptations in this day and age. I mean, I could say like drugs too, kinda, but like
Yeah,
it's like
cause you gotta. Go
it's
ahead.
like
I mean-
cause like
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know.
Cause like if you go on a party and stuff, like people try to hand it out to you, it's gonna be tempting to try it. Like
And not only the peer pressure, because peer pressure been here since the beginning of time. Peer pressure is nothing but the devil trying to convince us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's from the beginning of the time. I think it's in all the music. You know, it's
all
it's cool.
all
It's cool to pop perks and sip lean. You know what I'm saying? It's people that real life died behind this stuff already. You know,
Yeah.
in people's hometown, like, bro, I know people personally. You know, like they still mourning their family and stuff like that off of one pill, bro, or one time just trying it for the first time, and it's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, but like, you know, other than somebody who probably was able to do something for so long, it could take that one person at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like drugs, I feel like, you know, back in the day, you know, when it was around, you probably had to know somebody to even get your hands on something like that.
I
You
mean,
know? Nowadays, all you gotta go on social media, bro. You can get anything you want.
This
You ain't even gotta look.
You just walk around the block.
You know what I'm saying?
You walk around, it's gonna be somebody
gonna
trying to eventually something.
You know?
Something.
Something.
I'm gonna say two things, bro. First thing I'm gonna say regarding wise the social media, you know what I'm saying, and the girls and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You can also get that if you travel. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see that stuff in person. You know what I'm saying? If you go anywhere, you know what I'm saying, they got entertainment and stuff like that, you're gonna see girls, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna see women dressed a certain way, and it's gonna be provocative and gonna catch your eye, same way you could do on IG. So
That's
just social media is not the only thing. Second thing I'm gonna say is I feel like it depends on your mindset. If you have a young mindset everything is gonna be a temptation to you because you want to try everything because you're curious. Most toddlers and young teenagers, they're curious, bro. They want to try everything. That includes drugs, girls, you know what I'm saying, getting money and cheating ways and stuff like that. But when you have a grown mindset and you know what you want, that kind of cuts a lot of that stuff out. If you can kind of get what I'm saying.
Like if you know what you want to get in life,
Yeah.
like, if you chase it.
Like for example, like
you're gonna have to make sacrifices. So
if you
Like
want certain things in a woman, you're not gonna be sitting there looking at every woman because you know the specific things that you want in a woman and the things that you like. Now, if you don't even know what you like, if you don't know your type, you'll be sitting there looking left and right at every single. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
You get what I'm saying? And if you the same with the career, if you know exactly what you want to do in life, what your career is gonna be, you work towards that. You shouldn't really have a lot of time to really be tempted so much. I mean, temptations are still gonna come. You know what I'm saying? You can't walk down the street and not hit some bumps in the road. You know what I'm saying? But it's like the fact that your mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's
It's
real,
much about your
man.
mindset.
Nah, that's a fact.
If you get what I'm saying.
Boy, spit.
No,
It is.
man.
It's straight up mindset. Everything in life is mindset, and it's all spiritual, bro. You know, and that's like when you was talking about spiritual maturity earlier, bro. That's huge, bro. Because if you look at everything on the spiritual aspect and not my feelings and what's going on, that's not in my best interest type of way, then you're gonna forever get the negative out of everything. You know what I'm saying? But if you looking at things on a more like I said, what is God trying to show you? What is really going on right here? It's not really what's going on. It's something else that's really going on in that moment. If you're looking at it in a spiritual way, you know what I'm saying? So that's deep, bro. I like to answer that.
That was a real
Deep.
good answer.
That's good.
No serious.
some technical difficulties.
Some technical difficulties.
The call was was caught outside while they were.
Yo, for real though, boys over here
Break.
shivering, bro. It's that buff weather. All right, last one is what's the best advice you've ever been given and why?
Great way to end it. It's
Man, I'm
great.
gonna say this right now. Life is short. I know it wasn't. Hold on. I know that sounds so cliche when I said it. It sounded so corny.
There's
Well,
a couple ways that you could take
Nah,
that.
'cause when I heard that,
if
I was
somebody
thinking-
who wasn't a
I was
Christian,
thinking YOLO.
yeah.
You only live once, so try everything.
You know what I heard that one time? Like YOLO, like you only live once. I read something that was like, you live every day, but you only die once.
Yo, that's
That was probably the most popular.
No, you know what
When I
I'm
read
saying?
that, I was like,
No, another thing I
That's
heard
real
too.
tough.
that's OD.
I know
a fact, bro.
That's a fact.
Nah,
Like,
That's a fan, though.
Another thing I heard, bro,
that's like that was crazy.
is that everybody's alive, but not everybody's living.
Bro, you doing song lyrics.
Yo,
Literally, bro. Like,
that's
and now back to my point for the interrupted me. Listen, when I said life is short,
that's a fact.
it seems like so cliche when you say it, but it's like, bro, it's the fact that like we live life day to day like we have so much time in the world, like we have like the rest of our lives to do stuff, but literally all the accidents, all the deaths, that's all telling us that we don't have. Tomorrow's not promised.
Like, don't take this life for
Don't
granted.
take life for granted. Now, when you
So
say
many-
you say, "Oh, life is short," but really, it's like today is short. We may not make it out that door when we leave. Something may happen. There may be a fire when we leave. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like,
that's true even
like-
in the Bible because people
That's a fact.
people take long like, oh, I'm gonna get right with God, like it's gonna be a few months.
Yeah, procrastination.
I'm gonna get right with God.
The fact that they can say like I'm gonna do that in a few months, like that's how you know they're taking life for granted. Like
Bro.
they think they can just postpone everything. Like
nothing too.
Yeah, that's procrastination. That's fine.
Check this out, there, boys. So we talk about skills, right? So like, your life can be long. Your life, you might be able to live your life, you know what I'm saying, to 80 years old, let's say, right? And let's say you play football, basketball, whatever, right? You lose your legs. You're gonna live till you're 80 years old, but your career is done.
Life's not over.
Yeah, life ain't over though.
Life ain't over. But what I'm saying though is, for a person who takes
I know what you're saying.
you get what I'm saying? They skill
Take it for
they
granted.
take it for granted. They say, oh, I'm always gonna have this. I'm always gonna be the best. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. And all of a sudden, God can just take it away just like that. All of a sudden, you have to find a new career for the rest of your life. That's another aspect you gotta look at it too.
That is so different.
You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't
It's
imagine.
not just your breathing. It's just your skill set. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do. If you sing, you might lose your voice. Something can happen to you. You might get shot. You can't sing no more. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything.
And that's probably one of the hardest things to do is reroute your entire life. Once you already knee deep, though, I couldn't even imagine.
That's really one of my
Yeah,
biggest
Like, especially if you already got your whole family founded and all
Oh,
that. Like, you know, it's one thing if it's like it's our age, you know, we just getting started with certain stuff. You know, we could easily try to jump back, but like you knee deep, I got kids that are our age or something. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta read and start your whole life.
life over.
You know, I couldn't imagine, bro.
That's
I couldn't imagine that, bro.
Like think about in the Bible, Job. He was God wanted to test him, and he let Satan test him, just test his child, because he had everything he needed. He had multiple wives, he had money, he had affluence, he had wealth, riches, he had land, he had riches, he had gold, he had everything he needed, and then
also everything.
and then just like that, he lost everything.
And his wife.
And his wife.
Yo,
And
because his wife told him to cave in.
Mm-hmm.
His wife told him to cave in.
That's
And
tough.
just like
Yeah,
that,
that's a tough
he was
situation.
living like his best life, bro.
You can take
And
everything
just
away.
like that, it was taken away. That's why you can't take life for granted, bro.
Don't touch my wife and my kids, man. Take everything else, bro. I don't care about the land, the money.
Listen,
Don't touch my wife and my kids. I lose my wife and my kids, bro.
my man's lost his wife though, but she was trying to. But that's a whole other conversation.
That's a whole nother.
I would
But-
say though, you.
No, like wait.
I was gonna say like best advice I ever got. It's like I didn't understand it till now. Not now, but like probably like a few months ago. Probably like summertime, a little bit before summertime. Is like you can do or be anything you want to be as long as you have faith and as long as you put your mind to it. Cause like I didn't really know like how strong the mind was, but like once you realize how strong your mind is, everything's over. You can do anything.
We created in God's image, bruh. You know, and I feel like sometimes even as men of God, you know, women of God, we can forget that, bruh. Like we are created in God's image, so you know that's why the tongue is a powerful thing, because we can speak life and death. You know, we have the power to do that. We can do that on people and ourselves. You know. So that's huge, bro. That's huge, bro.
Cause like
Most definitely.
when I was younger and stuff, like when I would look at like people like in the NBA and stuff like that, like I would just feel like I thought they was like some super people, like they were just got to the NBA. But like I didn't really understand like all the work they put into that, like the hours, the days, the weeks, the years, like
Dedication.
like it's really dedication. Like if you like whatever you want, like you gotta like really live for it. Like you gotta like you really just gotta just keep working. Like you can't like giving up. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Like never give up, no matter what. Cause me personally, I don't like giving up on anything. Like even when I'm doing work, that's like my main problem now. Like if I'm doing some work and like if I really don't understand it, I do tend to give up sometimes. But like I don't like what I do, cause I don't like giving up. I just don't like giving up. Cause if I give up, then like I'm really dead. Cause if I give up, then nothing can make me not give up. I already gave up. It's already over with.
Right. Because in your mind, you already feel like you can't do it.
Yeah, so it's already over with. You gotta have the faith. You gotta try it.
And like what you saying about your mind, you give power to whatever you put your mind to.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you dedicate, you know, like let's say you wanna become the richest man in the world. I don't know. Let's say that's your goal in life, right? Everything you do in your life is gonna revolve around that. So whatever you put your mind to, that's what's gonna become. You're gonna become good at. You're gonna be strengthened at. Like if you want to become the best musician in the world, and that's on your goal, you're gonna be walking around. You're gonna see music notes. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna notice things. So we give power wherever you put your mind to. So you gotta always give power to God and Christianity, because if you don't give power to that, everything else is gonna have more substance in your life than that in the first place. So whatever you focus on, that's whatever you put power to, that's what's gonna grow.
Nah.
And you gotta put God first too, cause Nothing
Yeah.
you're doing is possible without
Yeah.
God.
The moon or the sun and we got to keep going around God basically. That's how it's got to be with everything that we do in life, not just one area, like every area. Like where is God at in the midst of this? Like you know, you have to see that.
That's what I'm always thinking about God though. Like I'm like my conscience is. I feel like my conscience is like me talking to God, like talking to myself, but it's like God. Like I'm always doing that.
That's where God is. God is in our hearts. He's in our conscience. You know, that's exactly how that goes. Like for me, bro. Like with the advice, like I could say two, bro. Like one that I tell somebody. I tell my wife like all the time, like when she going to work or something, or just leaving out for the day. I say don't let 60 seconds ruin your 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Because we tend to do that so much with just the littlest thing. You know, we were in traffic. You mad because you got traffic. You mad because you in traffic right now, but last week you ain't had no car. Or somebody you know mad because they waiting on the bus, and it's somebody who in a wheelchair or something like that who can't even walk. They can't stand up and wait. They've been sitting down for their whole life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I'm about to start carrying them.
like nah, for real though, like, and I be forgetting what I be telling my own life sometimes, bro, because it's really that,
like, when you're in the moment, you just emotions just come.
Cause sometimes, bro, you would sit there and let that one thing happen, like could be the beginning of the day. That's why, like, you know, sometimes you got a bad morning. People say, I don't believe in that. If you let that mess up your entire day, you're doing something wrong. It should not. It's no reason that one small situation, one solution. That's always a solution to a problem. You know what I'm saying? Something that's so solvable should not take up your entire day of negativity. It should push it to the curb as soon as it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's what comes in with that dwelling.
yeah.
Because a certain,
Don't dwell on
you know
nothing.
what I'm saying, a certain situation that come, you know what I'm saying, but you have the power and the will to either step over it and keep going, or to stand in it and just dwell in it. You know what I'm saying, for 24 hours. You could let it get to you, or you can get past it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So let it get to you, or you can get through it.
That's a fact. Can't go around it. Gotta get through it.
Kind of like on a football
What
court.
Kodak say? You can't sow it, grow it. You can't weave it, achieve it. He said, if you can achieve it, weave it.
For me, I'm gonna just think about like a quote I heard, like some advice I heard like when I was growing up. It said, if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. So like with that means
Like,
Oh, buddy.
I like that.
Nah, like basically what
I
that
like
means.
that.
What that means, only you have the power to make something happen. So like I said, like if you have a goal or something, a goal in life, only you can achieve that.
Right.
So if let's say like, you know, you want to get a job, right? If you don't go to no interviews or you don't, you know, look the part, you gotta build a door. You gotta make the opportunity for yourself.
Mhm.
Anybody who's in the NBA, they made sure that after they played the game, they talked to the draft picks, or they made sure that they was noticed in the crowd. They made sure to post their highlights so someone could see it and maybe notice them. If you are trying to be a music artist, your career, you make sure that you post your reels, you post your music, you post on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, you post it on everywhere so that you can get your views up. So whatever you're trying to do, you're the only one that, you gotta do certain things to achieve that goal. So it's like, you gotta build something out of nothing. You gotta do it yourself, because it's not gonna just be handed to you.
That's a fact.
Even when it comes to your blessings are not gonna be handed to you. Let's say you pray like, oh please, dear Lord, help me get this job. But if you don't go to the interview and you don't dress the part, you're not gonna,
Nah, yo,
whatever you praying for, you gotta make it happen yourself too.
Yo,
Like,
you know
it's a
what's
team
crazy?
effort between you and God.
bro, we do it every day as people. Like sometimes we just be expecting certain things. Like we put in work in this part of our lives and then expect the other thing to come out the sky. Like, okay, since I did this, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this now because I did this. So this, nah, you did this, so now you gotta work towards the same way that you got that. You gotta work towards this too, and get them results. And you might fail. You might not get it at first. You know what I'm saying?
Cause let's say you're trying to have, let's say like someone's like, oh, I'm trying to have the perfect body, bro. But if you don't go to the gym consistently, how you gonna get that? You just wishing at that point. You
Right.
gotta put in effort
in the
to
work.
work. Whatever you're trying to do, you gotta put in the work.
And not even
Plus
just
you
a
got some
gym.
jeans.
Yo, that's stupid, bro. Or like real life, you gotta, you know, it's always different ways. You know, if you're trying one way to do something and you feel like you're not being successful, try a different way. It's always multiple ways that you could try to still get that same result. Like for instance, if working out might not be your thing. Some people like do keto diets, so you know, just eat a certain way. Eating a certain way might get you the results quicker than working out. You know, you gotta try different things. You know, we living in that era. We got so many tools to us, and that's one of the positive things about social media is because as much negativity and lust and all that out there, it's still so many things that you can learn. And it's about what you seeking, you shall find. You know, you gonna find whatever you're looking for. If you're gonna look for lust, you're gonna find it.
That's a fact.
If you're gonna look for knowledge, you're gonna find it. All you gotta do is type in Google. Google gonna teach you everything. That's a fact.
YouTube
If you
University.
ain't looking for it, you ain't gonna find it. You know
Yeah, for real.
what I'm saying?
You know,
That's real rap, man. I got one more, just one more. Yeah, one more. My mentor tell me this one, and I want y'all to hear this. I don't know if I said it in the podcast before. He always tell me this, and I sometimes tell it to people too, because it inspires me. Getting uncomfortable. Getting comfortable being uncomfortable.
Don't worry, I love that. I love that.
Bruh.
That's what we trying to do every day
Bruh.
in basketball, bro.
Every day, and you gotta do it with every part of your life too, bruh. Cause you cannot be comfortable, bruh. The minute you get comfortable, that's when you just like,
You think, like,
bruh, that's
think you're him?
something gonna happen, and then you just gonna get thrown completely off because you got too comfortable. You gotta stay uncomfortable. Train yourself.
that's literally
Literally.
connects with the point I'm talking about life is short.
Literally.
Your career can be taken away from you because you got too comfortable.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See how it connect?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never comfortable. Ever.
And not even in a way, and not even in like a negative way, in a positive way. Not like in a negative, oh, the worst thing can happen right now. No, not like that, but in a way where like to understand like your daily routine might get thrown off. Something that you do every single day that you so confident. We could go back to the cockiness and confidence. Something that you do every single day so right, you might just not have it no more. You might wake up and then just not be there. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, you getting over a certain situation in life and being so high on it and feeling so good, and when another situation comes, you just get so low because you just, you know what I'm saying? Like that barrier in between getting past something and having to go through something else right after it. You know?
I think of two examples for that. One, I can think of, let's say like you're trying to I'm thinking of this is still in my mind, like the gym example. Like let's say you're trying to go to the gym, but you have a bad day, like it's raining outside or something happened, and you feel some type of way. But then you gotta be comfortable being uncomfortable. So if you just go, it's better than not going, because you might go and then feel better afterward. Or like another example, I could be we might have to do communion collection for the first time. Because Brother Lawrence asked me, I could have easily said, nah, like, I can't do it. Like, I could have just said no. But I had to be comfortable with being uncomfortable and try something new. Now I did it. Like, I started doing it, so now it's easier to do it now. So I learned something over time because I was uncomfortable. A lot of times you learn things when you become uncomfortable. Like, you hear someone say something different than what you thought, or a different viewpoint. It might have been something you never thought of before, but now you have a different way of experiencing life because you were uncomfortable.
And on the spiritual way, bro, I forgot which one of y'all boys said it earlier. Like when we was talking, like, you know, is it easier being an older Christian or a younger one? Because when you can put it in that aspect too, bro. Because it's like you could be an older Christian and you feel like you got it all figured out, or be stuck in your ways in certain ways with certain things. You know what I'm saying? But then you get taught on this exact topic that you had this certain mind frame and think about it completely different. You know, because you just was stuck on my belief is, you know, this is right. You know, and that's what the whole reason why we have Bible study is to all be on a mutual understanding of what God is trying to say in the passage, what He really means. Not, and you know, you ain't gonna get it from just reading. You can read the same verse every single day. You gotta read above that verse, below that verse. You might have to read the whole chapter just to understand that one verse. You know what I'm saying?
Context.
So it's like
That's literally what women go through with giving birth. You know what I'm saying? They got to go through an uncomfortable state so that they can bear a child. You know what I'm saying? It's only for a period of time, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? They got to go through that vicious, you know what I'm saying, uncomfortable state so that they can have a kid.
Something better.
You know what I'm
Something
saying?
better comes out of it.
And something good comes out of that pain that they go through. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad I ain't a woman. I'll tell you that, bro.
Nah, for sure. I ain't gonna front. I be thinking about that sometimes. Like, man, my wife about to be strong with this.
Yo, for real.
I'm gonna just hold your
Yo,
hand.
your
bro.
hand tight as
Like,
that.
I got your
Break
hand.
your hand.
The example I can think of is like an oyster, like you know, like to make the pearl inside.
Okay.
They have the water and stuff has to rub against it, and it has to be uncomfortable so that inside could form like the pearl that we all love. Like,
Oh, okay.
so like you
That's deep.
gotta
That's
like
deep. That's deep.
you gotta roughen up a little bit to get
That's
something
deep.
good out of it.
Same with the gold too.
Exactly.
Gotta be under fire to
Mhm.
so it can be
Exactly.
purified.
I like that one. I like
No.
that one. We might have to end
No,
on it. We
yeah,
might
listen,
we gonna have to end. We gonna have to end on that today. You know? We can't get out too much. You know, it's only so much.
We
It's
got
not
more
saying.
podcasts coming out. We got more questions.
Sweet and short.
We got more questions coming.
You know what I'm saying? We come back to the beat. You know, let us know how you know, we wanna know how you guys feel about the whole jar thing. We trying something different today. That's what we was basically doing, you know. So in the comments, you know, and then when we post on Instagram, you know, please let us know, you know, give us your true feelings about how anything that we do, you know, if it's something that you might suggest that we should try doing, or you know, any of that, you know, send it to us, DM us, you know, our IGs over here, please add us, you know,
Right there.
add my boy TJ, this TJ right here, you know, this me, this my boy Adrian over here, and you know, this my boy
social biz.
Austin right here. You know, so add the guys, you know what I'm saying? You know, you could DM any one of us, you know, if you have a certain, you know, biblical question, or, you know, just want to talk about God, we all for that, you know. We want to try to do different things, you know, and we need you guys' input to know more how to go about certain things, you know. Keep God in the mix, you know, but you know, I thank you for pulling up Austin today. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you again, Adrian, for helping out today. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
You know,
Yes.
you know, it's good to have, you know, young men that's really trying to, you know, continue to make a difference and better their lives on a daily basis, man. You know, and ain't nobody perfect. And like we always say, this is for everybody, anybody. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you do. You know, Jesus says, come as you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's, man, come as you are, you know. Holla back with us, man.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have more in tune soon. Y'all be good.
Peace.
Look, the pain is so real, the love is so fake. I live in a world, but my mind in a place. Haters, they trying to get out of my face. I'm a diamond in the rough, different kind of mate. Diamond in the rough, I'm a king in the make.